Hi everyone, it's Sue Plumb here to share a scrapbooking process video with you. Now, if you are joining me as the second part for my previous video where I shared with you how I created my mixed media background, then you are about to watch me use that background to put my layout together. If you didn't watch my previous video and you're just joining me to watch me create this layout, then welcome. So what I'm working with here is some bits and pieces that I had left over from my January Kitaholic Kits scrapbook kit. So I did have some papers there, and I had a few bits and pieces from the cut apart and various other items that I'm going to try and use up. The focus of this project was actually the mixed media kit, the March mixed media kit, which was what I used for my background, which had the beautiful Dina Wakley Gloss Sprays and the beautiful butterfly stencil set from Darkroom Door. Now, what I'm actually scrapping today it was a little bit difficult, I have to admit. It's actually one of my favourite ever photos of me and my mum. And for those people that have watched my videos before, you may know that I've recently lost my mum. And this was one of the photos that we pulled out for the slideshow at her funeral. And when I saw it, I knew I had to reprint it and create a layout with it. I actually have an extra copy of it that sits up above my desk in my creative space. So I do look at it all the time, every day, but I still wanted to create a page for it. So I have my mixed media background there that you may have watched me create previously. And so I'm looking for some colours in the papers that are going to work with that. You can see that I've got a lot of pastel tones. So I pulled out the Heidi Swap papers that I had there, and I think the blue one may have been on the back of might have been on the back of a Vicky Bouton actually, or maybe it was Heidi Swap, I can't remember. And I've just sort of torn and cut a couple of pieces of pattern paper to go under my photo. You can see my photo there already has some cardboard stuck on the back of it to help pop it up. In my stack there, I've also added a blue paper doily from my stash. I did also pull a yellow one out, but the yellow one was a little too dominant in terms of colour, and I liked the way that that blue one helped the blue sort of flow through the butterflies as well. So I also added some frayed gauze to my stash, and then just used a liquid adhesive to stick my photo down on the top. You would have seen me there pull out my stapler, and I actually stapled the paper layers together first, because this just allows you to move your stack around on the page to get your placement right. You don't have to worry about sticking individual layers down. It's just really, really convenient. So I had a bit of a shuffle through my stash to see what else I could bust on this page, and I had a couple of bits of cut files. I'm not entirely sure they were entire cut files. I think they were laying around on my desk. So they had just been cut in white cardstock, and I thought they would work really well just to soften the overall look at this page, because it was a very soft page with the colour palette that I had going on that background there. I thought the cut files, I just tucked them in underneath my layers, and now I'm going in with the Jen Hadfield Floral Ephemera pack that was also in the January kit. And I'm looking for some pieces that I can tuck in under those cut files just to help build the layers, tuck in around my photos, and just create some embellishment clusters. Now, I always talk about this, but I will talk about it again for anybody that's not new. I subscribe to the Visual Triangle School of Design, so I am always looking to create 3 main embellishment clusters that, if you drew a line between those 3 points, would create a triangle, and the main focus of your layout would fall within that triangle. So my clusters here are going to be placed underneath the photo there, at the bottom of the photo, the top right corner, and over in the left-hand corner as well. And as I said, if you drew a line between those 3 points, you would find it made a triangle around the photo of me and my mum. So with the floral ephemera, I shuffled through. I found some pieces that I thought the colours would work. I had a larger piece that I stuck down beneath the photo there, and I did tuck it in under one of the paper layers. And you would have seen me pull my scissors out and actually cut part of it off. I'm a little bit of a Scrooge when it comes to embellishments like that. If you're not going to see part of a die cut, I cut it off and throw it back in the pack, because you just never know when that will be useful to you. So I'm also shuffling through, finding some other flowers that I can use to create these clusters. I'm trying to create a bit of variation between the layers here. So I've actually used some foam tape under some of them. I am tucking some of them between the paper layers. I am tucking some of them underneath the paper layers so they sit at the bottom. And all of that is just helping to create depth on my page. Now, those little leaves on the left-hand side there, they gave me a little bit of trouble. I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to do it. You will see that I do a little bit of auditioning with some of the embellishments on this page. I did struggle a little bit when it came to actually creating the layout portion of this page, and I think it's simply because I was distracted by the photo. I kept looking at the photo, so bear with me. As you see, I shuffle a few bits and pieces around. I did stick, you can see I've just gone in and stuck some leaves underneath the cut file. I could have stuck things over the top of the cut files, but I wanted the leaves behind it simply because the cut files obviously have that large open area, and I like the fact that you can see through the cut file to what's tucked in underneath. And again, it just helps create more depth on your page with your layers. What else did I put on this page? I'm still fiddling around with leaves and flowers and things because they really were the main embellishment on this page. The other thing you can see that I am working with there on the left hand side, I have the Heidi Swap old school cardstock stickers, and you can see that I have quite a few left over there, so I'm just seeing what I can use up from there. And I have also got the Heidi Swap old school sticker book, which has got stacks and stacks of stickers in it, and I have absolutely no hope of using that up before 2025. It's that good. Now, you see that little piece that I just put in there, that little banner piece? It actually came from the cut apart sheet that was in the January kit, and I really wanted to use it because of the sentiment on it, but that green colour just... it wasn't right. I tried a couple of times bringing it back in after I'd even added the green of the leaves to see if it would tie in, and it just didn't suit, so I had to leave it off. I'm using some of the small phrase stickers from that Heidi Swap book, and I'm just, as I said previously in videos, I really like to balance off the visual elements of a page with a bit of text so that when people's eye moves around the page, they've actually got things to read as well. So I've actually got that little sentiment that I've put in the layers above my photo, which says the best, and to the right of my photo, I'd actually put the little one that said remember. And from the cardstock stickers, I used that one that said You and Me, which actually became my page title. So one of the other things I did pull out of the sticker book was some clear stickers, which were floral clear stickers, which I thought would work really well. Clear stickers work really well on a mixed media background because they help to build your layers and they don't overwhelm your layers. They just look like they sort of meld into the background. They're fabulous. Now, you'll see that large embellishment that I've just put on there is a handmade heart from Charms Creations. And the reason I chose that heart was not necessarily just because of the neutral tones, but I love the fact that it had the little wooden butterfly button on it, which tied in with the 3 butterflies that I had stenciled on my page earlier. So yeah, it was just tying together those elements. Now, I did want to go in and add a little bit more on my background, just a little bit of pretty, a little bit of sparkle. So I pulled out that sequin mix that was in the January kit, and I actually picked through the mix and picked out the white ones because I wanted to add that little bit of sparkle, but I didn't want the colour to be overwhelming. So I just used my Scotch tacky glue in my fine line bottle and my little nail art pencil just to pick them up and place them around the page. And other than that, I did add some handwritten journaling off camera before I completed my page, and that was it. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me put this together and gotten some useful information out of it. I'll see you next time. Bye.